Hey everybody, Matt here with Angry American Dads. Just want to do a short, real quick on some of the bullet points from our last videos that Gaetano and I just did on depression and anxiety. Can't explain how some of the stuff works. We are not medical professionals. We are not psychologists or anything along those lines. We know it seems to work for us and we know it works for other people. We hope it works for you. Couple things. One, and by the way, these are in no particular order. Might get a little crazy when I'm doing this, but here it is. One, you never stop challenging yourself. Never stop challenging your mind. Never stop challenging your body. I'm not saying you got to go out and work out all the time and be a bodybuilder and do all this other stuff and be a big martial artist or along those lines, but you need physical activity. You need to be challenging your body. If the most you can do is go out and go for a walk every couple days, do it. Get out there, get yourself active, get the blood flow. It goes a long way. Keep your mind active. I watch people will do stuff, they'll work their entire life at a job, they'll retire and they go downhill very quickly. They get depression, wicked anxiety, everything else. You have to keep your mind active. Always looking for more knowledge, always looking for different things, hobbies to stimulate your mind and your body. Work on your social circles. I don't have a huge social circle. I like to keep it small. But within that circle, I'm constantly reaching out. My friends are constantly reaching out to us. It's one of those that we talk, we maintain contact so we can check on each other and make sure everybody's in a good place. And we always want to keep everybody in a good place. It's just better for us in general. And unless you're really, truly a loner, you need to have that social interaction. Work your ass off on not letting small losses or defeats stop you. That can take some work, and I'm guilty of as much as anybody, having the smallest thing just set me back. But it takes, the more you deal with it and the more you force yourself to say, okay, it's just a stepping stone, kind of got to step over it and move on, the better off you're going to be. I do know that if you're having a day, you're having depression kicking, you're having anxiety, whatever, you don't want to do the stuff that I've talked about, or you don't want to do pretty much anything. This is where it gets tough, but you have to force yourself to do something. A few days ago, I had one of those days. It's been quite a while, thankfully, but it's been one of those days. It was one of those days, and I had to force myself. Didn't want to work out. What did I do? I put on a backpack and I went for a run. And didn't want to. By the end of it, I felt better. Had it cured it? No, but I felt better. It was a step in the right direction. The other thing I did, one of my others that I rely on, is I made a list of simple things that needed to get done that I know I could accomplish. They did take me longer than normal, but I forced myself to do those things. And each little thing I accomplished was a win. And by the end of the day, I felt better. I was like, wow, I actually did something. I still managed to work through it. The other thing, if you're in a relationship, and I'm extremely lucky. I'm going to use my life as an example. I'm extremely lucky. I have an amazing wife, and it's one of those that my wife understands that if I'm having a day, a lot of times she won't try to get me to talk. She knows I just don't like to talk right at that moment. But we have a relationship that, I'm going to preface it this way. It's a very physical relationship, and I'm not talking just sex or anything like that. What I'm talking about is when we walk by each other, there's some form of touch. There is just a touch on the back. There's a hug. There's rubbing shoulders. There's always some sort of physical touch. And if I'm having a day and she'll walk by and she'll just lean over and give me a peck on the cheek, or walk by and just touch me as she's walking by, that little thing will brighten my day. It makes life that much better. In regards to your kids, they key in on this stuff. They watch it, and having that relationship. And every time I walk by my daughter, I tend to I'll walk by and freaking give her a kiss on the head or something like that. And if she knows I'm having a day, she'll walk up and hug me, and that brightens everything up. It makes it better. I recommend, and myself, I do it, if you're having a day, stay away from your social media, stay away from the electronics, go outside, involve yourself in some sort of nature for a moment, try to clear your mind. The other day when I had my issue, it was a crappy day as far as I was concerned, because it was super muggy, and it was pouring outside and just dreary freaking crappy day. And I forced myself to walk outside. I got soaked, but I walked outside and stood in the rain for a little while. And honestly, when it was all said and done, I felt a lot better. Came in, changed my clothes, and I forced myself to do things around on my to-do list. I forced myself to work out, forced myself to do all this stuff, and I felt better. And instead of that anxiety or that depression kicking in and holding in for days at a time, I was able to wrap it up to where the next day I woke up and I was, okay, I'm back to normal. Let's get after it. The other thing, kind of a preventative, is every once in a while you got to be a little arrogant. You got to tell yourself, hey, I did this right. Hey, I'm doing a good job. Hey, I've accomplished all this stuff. That little self-help, self-check, hey, I'm a decent human being. I'm a decent dad. I'm good at this. It goes a long way in the long run of keeping you on the upright and freaking going forward. So the other thing I would recommend is when you're not having a bad day, you're having a good day and you get those small defeats, do your best. When you get a small defeat and you step over it, do your best to kind of like almost glorify that in your head a little bit. Because when you are having a day later and you've done that enough on the other side, if you're having a day, you get a small defeat. If you've practiced it enough on your good days, it makes it easier on your bad days, and all of a sudden you're able to overcome those a little bit easier then, and it makes the recovery faster. So a lot of this is preventative maintenance, so to speak. One thing that Guy and I talk about quite a bit is we delve into how you need to have a relationship with God, how you need to have some religious basis for your life, if you will. That didn't come out right. You need to have a purpose greater than what's on this earth. Pray. I'm telling you, you start having conversations with God, it's going to be one of those things. When you pray, you ask for help, you beg for forgiveness, you truly want help. It may not be what you want, but it'll be what you need. It may come from a different angle than you thought it would. Don't be adverse to it. Let it happen. And you'll be surprised what happens and how much better things will get. Many times these challenges that are put in front of us aren't to break us down. In the grand scheme of things, they're there to build you up and make you a stronger person, make you a stronger man, make you a better father, make you a better husband, make you a better friend. So it's just another challenge. Take it as it comes. So anyway, I hope this helps. To all you dads out there, keep your head up. You're not in this alone.